Hey everybody, David Franzen. How you doing tonight? Just wanted to pop on here real quick tonight and make a short video. I know I say short and then my videos always end up being longer than I expect them to be, but I'm going to keep this pretty succinct and precise tonight. Um, I'm shooting to make this under 5 minutes, so check me on that. Anyway, I went to a live event for my marketing company about a year and a half ago, and I heard a concept that really made a difference in my level of achievement and what I've been able to do in my online business since then. And I wish I could give the speaker credit, but I don't remember his name. But if you're out there, dude, I'm sorry. Anyway, it was great advice, and I want to give you that advice. And it was this. He said, most people will never make it or be successful or however you want to describe it or reach a higher level of achievement that they want to achieve or be as successful as they want to be because they're just comfortable enough. Let that sink in. Most people will never reach the higher levels of what they want to achieve because they're just comfortable enough in their life, in their current circumstances, in their current situations. That's why you always hear these stories about the greatest stories of all, of course, are the ones, the rags to riches stories where a guy was down and out, homeless, didn't have anywhere to go, was living out of his van or his car or the van down by the river or whatever. And these are the guys that really made it because they were in a desperate situation where if they didn't find some way to make some income or make some sort of change in their life, they would die or they would be, hungry or broke or homeless or whatever the case may be. So those are the stories you hear about the people, that have come from the bottom of the cellar way up to achievement. But he said the reason most people, your common folks out there in the world, don't make it is because we're just comfortable enough in our current situation. That really hit home with me. I started thinking about that, and that's exactly what had been holding me back. For many years, I had struggled online for probably like 5 or 6 years, trying all kinds of different programs and products and plans. Nothing seemed to work ever, and I realized one day after I heard this guy mention this is that that's what the reason was, because I wasn't willing to put in that extra effort. I wasn't willing to go that extra mile, spend that extra time with my business because I was just comfortable enough in my current circumstances. I was working a job, I had benefits, I could pay my bills just barely. But I was getting by. I had a nice TV, I could watch my football games, had food, clothing, and shelter, was able to provide for the children. But I was just getting by and I wanted more than that. So I did two things differently in my business, and that's when I started seeing more success. The first thing I did was I stuck with one thing. Um, I stuck with one program, and then I decided to be more consistent in the effort I put forth. I had to get out of my comfort level. So the first thing I did is I started, they always say people go from a place of pleasure or a place of pain. For me, what worked was going from a place of pain because I work at Universal Studios, and for many years I was a performer there. If you watch some of my other videos, you may know that. And the fear that I had there was that I could lose my position because each year we had to re-audition for our jobs. And so on a yearly basis, your contract was renewed, but you never knew when it might be the end for you. You might get too old for the role, the show may close, or something like that. And that happened to me this past fall. I actually did lose my job as a performer at Universal because my show closed. And I still do work at Universal a couple days a week to keep my benefits, but that was the reality of it. And 2 years ago, I started thinking that way, though. I started thinking well ahead of when I actually did lose my job that I could lose this position. And then where am I going to be? Am I going to be able to provide for my family? Probably not. So I know we're coming up on 5 minutes here, so I'm going to wrap this up in just a minute or less than a minute. Okay. I said 5 minutes, and we're going to shoot right for that target frame tonight. But think about this. Do what you have to do to get out of your comfort level. If you think you're happy and you're content where you are, start imagining some scenarios where maybe you're not going to be as comfortable, like as you reach retirement, or unexpected expenses come up, or you want to pay for your children's uh, future education, going to college and that sort of thing. Well, you may not have enough money. You may be getting by right now, and you may be able to pay the bills, but you may not have enough savings, and you may not have enough for retirement. You may not have enough to provide for your children as they grow older. So if that's the fear that motivates you to get out of the comfort level, do that. Or you could use the pleasure principle and start thinking of all the nice things you could get if you had more money. The things you could do, the vacations you could go on, the things you could buy for your wife or your children, that sort of thing. Whatever you have to do, I can't. Sorry, the video's freezing up here, so I apologize for that if the video glitched. I don't know what's going on with my computer tonight. But just to finish up real quick here, do whatever you have to do to get out of your comfort level. Most people will never make it to the level of achievement that they want to achieve because they're just comfortable enough. So get out of your comfort zone, find out what it takes to motivate you and light a fire under your ass and get it going, and then just do it. And then do what I said, summarizing here. Put in consistent effort. Stick with one thing. Don't be jumping all over the moon trying to find the next best thing. Find one program, product, or plan that you believe in, and then just stick with it. Put in the consistent effort, day in, day out. Put in the time. It doesn't have to be that much, an hour or two a day, and make it happen. All right, I went a little long. I'm sorry. I try, but I tend to talk too much. So have a great night. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.